Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Namo Buddhaya, meritorious devotees. So the meritorious devotees are the kids learning Dhamma from Melbourne, generally from Australia, then from England, then we have kids learning Dhamma from North America, and also kids from New Zealand. The first program is conducted to New Zealand actually. So you all are very meritorious. Why? Monks are supporting you with the Buddha's teachings. With the great blessings of our teacher, with his guidance, with the guidance of our teacher, most venerable Avasarai Kiribadgoda Jnanananda Mahathera Pingvat, that's our Pingvat Loku Swamin Wahansa. We are conducting all these programs with his blessings and with the blessings by the gods who are supporting our Loku Swamin Wahansa and all the Mahamevunava Buddhist monasteries. So first of all, let's pay our homage to our teacher, to our Loku Swamin Wahansa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So while kids are taking part in this Dhamma program, there are teenagers and young adults joining this program. Young adults who has been joining with the youth programs in our Mahamevunava Dhamma programs, and also non-Sri Lankans who are learning Dhamma in English medium. For them, we are conducting this program. So this Dhamma sermon is especially recorded and preached for the one-day Buddhist retreat, for the devotees who have dedicated their time and energy to observe 8 precepts, especially on this Sunday, on a weekend. Usually on a weekend, people will go out and go on a trip, or most of the people, they sleep. A lot of people, they sleep on the weekend. Since it's during the pandemic, they can't go out much. So I hope today you all have dedicated your time, energy, and with the respect towards the Buddha's teachings, having respect towards the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you all have joined with this program to develop your mind, to abandon the darkness in our life, and then to shine a light to our life, and then to eradicate the ignorance in our life. It was a Supreme Buddha who realized that our minds are covered with 4 things. Our minds are covered with ignorance. Our minds are covered with craving. And our minds are covered with wrong views. Our minds are covered and neglected with wholesome qualities. Our minds are neglected with wholesome qualities. Why these wholesome qualities are neglected? Some people, now when we talk about good qualities, wholesome qualities, the first thing that people remember is to help each other. That is true. Then giving money, supporting when other people need help. That is also kindness, compassion. Then helping other people in a drought season, helping other people in drought. And then helping people when they are homeless. So these are wholesome qualities. But a lot of people do these wholesome qualities just because of other people need help from us. Most of the time we help others just because others need or others are seeking a support or a help from us. Doesn't it happen in that way? But our Blessed One, the Supreme Buddha, taught us to practice wholesome qualities in a different way. The guideline the Supreme Buddha gave us, the guideline that our Buddha gave was, we should do wholesome qualities. We should do good things from our body, speech and mind, just like a florist. Think of a flower shop. Will the owner of that flower shop bring ugly flowers to sell? No. Will he bring flowers that are not fragrant and ugly both? No. He will try to sell fragrant flowers, beautiful flowers, to a higher price. So he will order, or he will go and, if he is a person, he or she, if that person is ordering, he will order good and fragrant, beautiful flowers. If he or she had to go and pick or pluck on his own, he will only pluck beautiful and fragrant flowers which other people like. And he will make flower bouquets, flower garlands and sell happily. Even the people who buy those flowers will buy happily, joyfully. What do you think? Doesn't it happen in that way? It happens. So, our Blessed One, the Supreme Buddha, taught us to be like florists, like a very skillful florist, a skillful florist. A skillful florist will collect beautiful flowers. How can we? Now, we can't be collecting flowers because we are not going to sell those flowers at the end of the day. So that's the guideline that Buddha gave. That's the measurement. That's the sample. That's the example for us to be like how we should practice and cultivate wholesome qualities. So just like a florist go looking for beautiful flowers, we should look for opportunities to gain merit, like a florist. We should look wholesome qualities. We should go in search of looking an opportunity to gain wholesome qualities, to develop wholesome qualities. Why should we do that? Because this human life is obtained as a rare opportunity. Remember, how have we obtained this human life? This human life is obtained as a rare opportunity. Remember that first of all. Number 2, this life is impermanent, unstable, fragile. This life can be ended at any time. This life does not belong to us. The breath does not belong to us. The blood does not belong to us. The blood circulation is not under our control. The breath is not under our control. The organs are not under our control. Buddha has taught that our life is like a dewdrop on the edge of a grass leaf. Imagine a dewdrop that is hanging on the edge of a leaf in the early morning. Early morning when sun shines. What happens to that dewdrop? That dewdrop will disappear. If we can understand about our life at least like a dewdrop at the edge of a grass blade, at the edge of a grass leaf, we can win this life. We can win this life. So, from the things we get to see from this world, we should have the ability to get a message for our life. What should we have? We should have the ability to get a message for our life, a valuable message for our life. Now, Supreme Buddha taught us to be like a florist. Why? We should look just like a florist collect beautiful flowers, fragrant flowers. We should cultivate wholesome qualities. So we can cultivate wholesome qualities in 3 ways. One is by sharing your belongings with others. You can share your money, you can donate food, you can donate clothes. Now see, Supreme Buddha has said when you offer clothes, you will develop in beauty. Now see, even people who have gone out of shape, when they wear some clothes, they can show a different shape to the people. Short ones will look tall. Tall ones will look short. Doesn't it happen? It happens. So when you offer clothes, it is considered as you have given yourself. It is considered as so when you offer clothes to others, that's the path to obtain beauty for our life. Beauty and a good shape. So when people offer vehicles, it is considered as given comfort to others. Now Supreme Buddha has said when you offer shelter, Buddha has said it is considered as given everything when you offer shelter. So generosity is one of the basic things, the first thing, not the basic thing, one of the first thing that a person could practice, because the Buddha's teachings is like the great sea. The Buddha's teachings are like the great sea, like the great ocean. The great sea, it does not get deep at once. Gradually, it gets deeper. It gets deep. Gradually, slowly it gets deep. So even the Supreme Buddha's teachings, it is developed step by step. Step by step. When some people are unable to protect their precepts, they worry. They forget that this path of Dhamma is a gradual development, a gradual progress. Some meritorious people can do it immediately, like there were young monks who were 7 years old when they were given ordination. At the moment of obtaining their ordination, when hair was given, when the senior monks were cutting the junior monks' hair on the occasion of their ordination, the own person's hair was given to the hand, and the monk had to look at the hair and think, this hair is disgusting. There is head hair in this body, mixes with sweat and dust, mixes with oil. This is disgusting to see, disgusting to touch. Then there is body hair. Then there are nails. Inside the nails, dust, food particles get accumulated. Then there is teeth in this body. In teeth, food particles get accumulated for days and then it smells. Take a dental floss and try. Take that thread and then clean your teeth and see how disgusting it is. It gives a pungent smell. Then we should think the true nature of the skin and the muscles. So when a monk thinks this, the true nature, the unattractive nature of the body, that means the unattractive signs, the disgusting parts of the body, that monk will get detached to this body. Usually we are attached. We get angry, we suffer from fear, and we get stressful, and we take revenge from others. We get fed up, and then we feel uncomfortable, and we feel lonely. It's all because of bondages and attachment towards our body and towards other people's body. If we do not know that our bodies are disgusting and our bodies have a disgusting nature, we will never look at other people's bodies in a true way. Then we get attached to ourselves, to our body, and we get attached to others. Then we will have to suffer when our body goes, when our body gets ill, we will suffer. Then when our body changes, when there are alterations in our body, we will suffer. And even when other people's bodies are changed, we will suffer. So this life is a mixture of suffering and happiness both. But if we can think wisely, we can avoid suffering. Avoid suffering means usually people are hit by 2 arrows. Usually people are hit by how many arrows? By 2 arrows. Imagine you get damaged, your hand get damaged, your hand get wounded. Then you will have a bodily pain. And then you will suffer mentally as well, thinking, why I was wounded, when I would get cured. Painful, you will suffer mentally as well. You were only wounded once, but mentally we get wounded more than 1,000 times. So usually people are hit by 2 arrows. But if we can learn the Dhamma properly and practice this, we will only be hit by 1 arrow. The arrow will not penetrate the mind. It will stop from the body. It will stop from the body. So when a monk is ordained, he will be advised to practice the meditation on repulsiveness. Then there were meritorious monks, nuns, who became arahants at the age of 7 years. So today, when we look at the children and when you look at the adults, generally we don't have that merit. The merit that people had during the Supreme Buddha's time, we don't have that merit today. So we have to mature our mind. We have to develop our mind, bring our mind to a state where we can realize the Four Noble Truths. So without developing that mind, without maturing our mind, how can we realize the Four Noble Truths? So we as disciples of the Supreme Buddha, even though we are born in a time period where it has almost passed 2,500 years after the passing away of the Supreme Buddha, yet we can follow the Buddha's teachings and be heedful. And we can accumulate a merit, generate a merit, just like the Arahants who accumulated merits in their past lives. Now we too can follow the Noble Eightfold Path and mature our mind. Make our mind ready to realize the Four Noble Truths. For that we should behave like a florist. So, practicing dana, practicing generosity, we should do that. Then practicing virtue, That means guarding the verbal actions and the bodily actions. We should do that. Abstaining from killing living beings, abstaining from stealing. You all know the 5 precepts. And we should add abstaining from harsh speech, abstaining from gossip, then carrying tales like hear from here and tell somewhere else and break here from here. So hear from here and tell somewhere else and break their harmony. So we should abstain from breaking the harmony of others. Should not talk useless things, should not tell lies. We should abstain from evil. All the Buddhas give that advice. Sabba papassa karanam kusalassa upasampada. So, all the Buddhas say to eradicate unwholesome thoughts. So the second way to gain merit to your life is by controlling your verbal and bodily actions. Now you have a protection for your verbal action and bodily actions. Now you should have a protection for your mind. That is by being mindful about the thoughts you are thinking, about the thoughts you are generating. Because when we see something, a thought will get generated in your mind. When we hear something, a thought will get generated in your mind. After smelling, after tasting, after feeling something from your body, a thought will get generated. No doubt in that. Is there any doubt in that? No doubt. So, sometimes we see unpleasant things, then unpleasant thoughts get generated. So we should have the skill and the power to keep our mind and to keep our mind protected from evil thoughts, to keep our mind in a safe place, to keep our thoughts the way we want. Even if we see or hear or unpleasant things, we should have the energy and the strength not to generate a bad thought, but to develop a wholesome thought. Now see how our prince Siddhartha, when he saw an old person, how did he think? He thought, even I would get old one day. He saw a sick person. How did he think? He thought, even I would get sick one day. Then I should practice Dhamma and I should find a way to escape from birth. Then I can abandon all this rest of the suffering. See, a wise thinking. Imagine if someone scolds you. Then what happens? A bad thought might arise in your mind. Not might, a bad thought will arise. Then how should you think? What's the usual way? Who is he to scold me? Useless fellow. No loving kindness. Our face will change. Eyes will change. We will become thirst. We'll become very thirsty. And we could not walk slowly. We will walk fast. We will talk fast. We will throw things. Why? Just a sound. Now imagine if a person scolded you from a language that you don't understand. Will you get angry? No. So it's not something wrong with the scold, it's the way you take it. So if you can think, how you can think? Buddha has said, when someone corrects you, see whether you have that mistake or not. If you have that mistake, you should think, oh, it's like showing a treasure for me. And be happy that, oh, someone has corrected me to escape from the hell, corrected me to escape from the ghost world, corrected me so that in the future others will not feel uncomfortable, others will not feel uncomfortable to live with me. Then others will love you because you won't do that mistake in the future. Imagine someone scold you for something that you have not done. Then how should you feel? You should feel happy. Why? You don't have that mistake with you. So Buddha said, if you have not done that mistake, you should be happy thinking that you don't have that mistake. What do you think about it? But what do? We think opposite of that. Even there's a mistake, we get upset. Even there is no fault and mistake, yet we get upset. See the nature of our undeveloped mind. See the nature of our undeveloped mind. So, the third way to gain merit is protecting our mind from unwholesome thoughts. So, for that, we can get used to cultivate and generate wholesome thoughts while walking, standing, sitting, and lying down. So, usually we let the mind to think from what we see, hear, and smell, taste, and feel. So, if we hear the Buddha's teachings and if we think according to that, it's good. But most of the time, we are not hearing the Buddha's teachings. Most of the time, we are hearing things that are related to hatred, lust, or delusion. What do you think? Isn't it true? That's true. So, we should generate thoughts and have a practice, have a habit to cultivate wholesome thoughts always and maintain wholesome thoughts always. For an example, you can practice loving kindness. You can think, may all beings be well and happy. May all beings be free from anger. May all beings be free from ill will. May all beings be free from jealousy. May all beings be free from mental suffering. May all beings be free from physical suffering. May all beings be free from... May all beings live in peace. May all beings live happily. So imagine if someone scolded you, since your mind is always generated with wholesome thoughts, you will not feel like scolding him backwards, scolding him in return. Why? In your mind, your thoughts are thinking, may he be free from anger. So you won't feel like making him angry by scolding him. Why? You have generated wholesome thoughts. The problem that we have is we don't have enough wholesome thoughts generated in our mind to not to make others angry and not to make others upset. Then we can think the impermanence nature of our life to get detached. Then we can think the disgusting nature of our body. Then this body is made out of with 4 great elements, with solid, with water, and with heat and air. So when you look at this body with through these 4 things, when you look at this body as this body is made with these 4 things, will you get attached? No. Then you can see this as aggregates, like there's a form aggregate, feeling aggregate, then perception, then volitional formations, then formations, and then consciousness. These things are impermanent. Like this body, now we are living happily, like during the king's time. The punishments were terrible. People were impaled on shark poles. Like they make the person sleep on the floor and they take a sharp pole and they send through the back. And what they do, they raise the pole and then they bury it on the ground and then the person will be standing on the pole. It's not like this. Some people are thinking that a pole is fixed to the ground and the person has to sit on it. No. The person will be laid down and then a man will send a sharp pole through his back until the pole goes to the middle of the body, and then he will raise the pole and then he will keep it upright and then he will ground it on the earth. He will make that man stand on that pole. By the time the pole has gone inside the body, then slowly the pole will come out, either from the stomach or from the mouth. He suffers a lot. He won't die. There were incidents, there were like 20 days impaled on a shark stalk. 20 days. 30 days. There was one person who was impaled on a shark stalk and then he was saved and then finally he became a monk. Luckily, there was a monk to preach Dhamma and correct him. If there was no monk, He would die with hatred. We never know how we could die. Then there were punishments during the Supreme Buddha's time. Uh, the hands are tied to two trees either side and they cut the trees. The body breaks into two. The body splits into two. Then they tie our legs to a cart and they drag us through and fro. This body is subjected to suffering. Once we get a human life, we should consider three things always. Remember these children and adults. We should consider the gratification, danger, and escape. Usually people are only used to consider only the gratification. But what is more, gratification or danger? Danger. So if you think of the danger, that will help you to avoid doing evil deeds and be mindful to escape from this body by following the Buddha's path of Dhamma. So try to practice meditation and then develop and cultivate wholesome qualities. Don't see faults in others. He is not like a florist won't collect ugly flowers. Don't collect unnecessary things when you live with other people. Don't gossip. We should depend on wholesome qualities. So today, just to wrap up what I have taught you, we learn today, live like a florist. Go search, go look for wholesome, go look for an opportunity to gain merit. And then the three ways to gain merit is generosity, protecting precepts, meditation. And why should we gain merit? This human life is very rare, very impermanent, it's impermanent. And then remember, we are living in a time where Buddha's teachings are widely spoken. We can see monks. We still have the opportunity to be born among devas, even if we are unable to realize the Four Noble Truths in this life. But if we are born in a time period where the Buddha's teachings are not widely spoken, not heard at all, what would happen to us? Only drinking, dancing and singing. Some people might meditate, but they are not meditating to attain Nibbana. They are just meditating to calm their minds. So on this one-day Buddhist retreat, have a strong determination to become a florist. During the Dhamma discussion, I'm going to ask you how you will become a florist and what are the ways you can act like a florist. How you can gain merit then and there, here and there, each and every time when it is possible. So may you have the opportunity to gain merit in three ways and then escape from this miserable journey of samsara in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. Teruvan Saranai.